Welcome back to LEGO Battlebots Battle of the Builders. It's time for the championship bracket. The best 16 user-created bots collide with each other in a single elimination bracket to see who will claim the crown. Let's head into our first fight. Kicking off the bracket, we have a really good fight. Pirate's Curse taking on Omni. Pirate's Curse. There's all the way back, we saw it in Heat A go 3-0 before being taken out by Bad Revolution in the final fight, dropping it to a 3-1 record. Still, it's a pretty solid and durable hammer. It's one of the more powerful hammers, though, like most hammers, it does lack very good weapon power. Taking it on is the 9-seed Omni, the third place from Heat D, though it was able to take down Heat winner Bot of Italy. It's a very powerful weapon, but the wedge has been shown to be suspect, which could prove troublesome since Pirate's Curse is known to have some pretty decent forks. This is going to be a very interesting fight between two very capable bots of different designs, so let's see how this fight goes down the arena. Bot battle begin. Pirate's Curse getting underneath Omni to start those forks, working very well against that wedge, and Pirate's Curse is dropping the hammer effectively so far. So, gonna have to see how much damage that actually does. Omni probably one of the better bots to get hit with that hammer in favor of Pirate's Curse, but that is still going to take a lot of damage in order to make actually do anything. But Pirate's Curse is getting a lot of shots in as they are controlling Omni incredibly well so far. Those forks have not failed them once yet, though there's still plenty of time in this fight as Omni now upside down in the death corner as Pirate's Curse continuing to drop that hammer. Pirate's Curse delivering blow after blow with that hammer, and that could cause some serious damage to the side build frame of Omni. As Pirate's Curse just continues to get underneath, Omni's wedge has not been able to get anything done. That drum hasn't done any damage as Pirate's Curse continues to deliver them into the screws and all around the arena. That self-render of Omni has been the best, most effective part of it, but Pirate's Curse splits the frame in half. What a victory for Pirate's Curse, a statement win, and proving that that hammer can in fact do some serious damage. This was incredibly dominant from Pirate's Curse. Those forks always got underneath that wedge of Omni, and Pirate's Curse was just able to deliver blow after blow and eventually break Omni in half. Though it is concerning that they took so long with that hammer to do that kind of damage. I mean, that was probably like at least a dozen, or maybe probably more shots. I was not keeping track. But the weapon power, even though it was able to really show it off here, it's probably going to struggle against bots that it can't get underneath consistently like that. But either way, a dominant win for Pirate's Curse puts it in the quarterfinals, and as for Omni, it is now eliminated. Pirate's Curse takes the dominant win in the first fight of the brackets. Let's move on to our second match, a rematch between the 3-seed Bot of Italy and the 14-seed Bonk. The last time these two bots fought, Bonk was able to put up a decent fight before Bot of Italy broke it in half with that flipper. Bonk is a more durable design than Pirate's Curse, but has a weaker hammer, while Bot of Italy's wedges have proved to be capable, if definitely fragile. But it's going to be interesting to see how well Bonk does in this rematch, because it did do fairly well. It was able to get underneath. But if it can get those wedges off, then it could dominate the fight. With Bot of Italy, definitely not going to let that happen without a fight. Obviously, as a Heat winner and the 3-seed. So let's see how this rematch goes down the arena. Bot battle begin. Bonk get underneath Bot of Italy. There goes the red wedge in its entirety. I told you those wedges were fragile. Bot of Italy is going to have to lean on that green wedge in order to win this fight now, or get underneath. But here they go, getting Bonk into the screws and flipping them over. Now they have a chance to get them out of the arena. Some solid flips now, but failing to get them out. Bonk is just too long, it seems. But now Bot of Italy, you can see it struggling to get underneath Bonk even at the side, and now Bonk's wedge has turned back to face Bot of Italy. There goes the spoiler with a great ram. from Bonk. Bonk in control of this fight for the most part now, and they get Bonk out!
Knockout!
Oh my goodness, that fight turned incredibly quickly. Bonk had Bonk in the earlier stages, ripping off the red wedge in its entirety and doing some more damage to that weapon, but Bonk was able to retaliate with some decent flips, but nothing major, nothing like the last time these two fought. Bonk was able to out-wedge them from there and got them out of the arena. This is a massive upset, putting the 14 seed in the quarterfinals, so Bonk definitely deserved to be a higher seed, but that's just how the ranking system for this tournament worked. Bonk takes a massive upset over Bot of Italy to move on to the quarterfinals. Let's see our next fight. The 4 seed Grilled Cheese taking on the 13 seed Wheelie Bro. Wheelie Bro is able to actually defeat Grilled Cheese the last time these two fought. They're sitting at a 2-2 overall record, but that was only enough to get them 4th place in their heat. Grilled Cheese, the first 3-1 heat winner, obviously explained by their top 4 seed. And this is going to be definitely interesting again. Wheelie Bro obviously has gotta have a bit of favor for, you know, winning their last encounter, but Grilled Cheese is definitely, I would say, still the more favorited design to win this fight because of that big wedge that Wheelie Bro simply lacks. Anyways, will Grilled Cheese be able to gain revenge, or will Wheelie Bro pull off this second upset? Let's find out down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Grilled Cheese gonna try and do better to keep that big wedge facing Wheelie Bro, and they nearly get them into the screws there. That could have been the fight, but Wheelie Bro, not able to escape that attack, and now they get flipped by Grilled Cheese, and they are on their face. They cannot get back up from that position, and that is going to be the end of the fight. A quick and decisive vengeance for Grilled Cheese.
1, knockout.
Grilled Cheese did significantly better than the last fight in keeping that big wedge pointed at Wheelie Bro, and that was all they needed to do. Eventually they were able to get underneath right there, and were able to flip them over with a great suplex from that position, and they advanced to the quarterfinals. 4 seed gets revenge and marches on to the quarterfinals, avoiding the same fate as the 3rd seed Bot of Italy. Our 7-10 matchup sees Venom taking on Spellbreak. Venom the 2nd place from Heat B, and Spellbreak the 3rd place from Heat C. Two more non-spinners, which means at the end of this fight we'll have 4 non-spinners in the quarterfinals and 0 spinners. Obviously that's going to change, but Venom, a very low, very durable, very low again, and Hammer Boss without too much weapon power, probably one of, if not the weakest hammers here, but it's still a pretty tough and pretty capable control bot if it needs to be. I mean, that's how it got to 3-1. As for Spellbreak, it's less low to the ground, but its weapon is much more effective. It's a front hinge flipper, and it's actually intended to be a front hinge flipper. These 2 green control bots battling out. This is definitely an interesting fight. Whoever could get around to the side might get the win, but neither bot really has too much knockout power, so it's going to be very fascinating to see how these 2 bots deal with each other. Let's go down to the arena to see what happens. Let the bot battle begin. Venom getting to the side of Spellbreak and now getting underneath the wedges of Spellbreak, trying to get them into the screws early. That could be a way to get a quick knockout. But so far, no dice even getting them completely in the screws. But Venom is taking some really good control early on, proving that ground game is superior. We're now pinning Spellbreak in the corner, trying to get that hammer into play. Or maybe just trying to maintain control, but there's a stalemate, but Venom breaks it, getting underneath and slamming them into the pit corner, but Spellbreak gets underneath and using that flipper flips Venom over, though that hammer is incredibly effective self-righter on Venom, and Venom quick to strike back by flipping Spellbreak by itself. Venom taking complete control of this fight so far. Spellbreak's only landed that 1 attack up to this point, and now Venom trying to get Spellbreak into the screws, Spellbreak needs to start getting around the sides or just get underneath the front like that. But they need to do that more often if they're going to win this fight, as Venom lands a hard charge to flip Spellbreak over. Spellbreak still holding up to the Ram so far. You know, they're the less durable bot than Venom. But Venom is taking control. Uh-oh! Spellbreak is in the death corner now. This could be it. Their wheels are off the ground. That lifter seems unable to get them out. The countdown's on. Can they get out? Yes, they can. The countdown is avoided, and this fight continues. But Spellbreak is gonna have to go on the offensive here. Venom now dropping that hammer down again and again. And they are really starting to bring that hammer into play now, because they are trying to do as much damage as they can to Spellbreak. If Spellbreak manages to get control later in the fight, the damage category could decide this, should this fight go the full 3 minutes. But so far, it is looking like Venom is gonna win this fight, and Spellbreak is getting beat down here. You see the frame start to bend. That right wedge looks like it's about to come off. Now you can see it's definitely not touching the ground anymore. Venom taking complete control and aggression, now winning the damage category too. Spellbreak trying to hold on, but there goes the wedge, and that could result in the flipper itself getting removed if Venom gets a good enough ram. But so far it's still attached, allowing Spellbreak to use it to self-right. This is not looking good for Spellbreak at all. They have just been beaten down in this fight. And there's a great ram again by Venom. They are just dominating Spellbreak here. Can Spellbreak find anything to pull this fight back? That is not it. Losing the flipper is not going to help them, as the damage category swings entirely in Venom's favor. This fight looks like it's going to go to a judge decision, though I'm pretty sure we know who all won this fight. That was just domination from Venom from start to finish. I mean, Spellbreak got underneath twice, and that was about it. I mean, they kept charging at Venom, but they were not doing anything at all. They did no damage. They got none of the forks off. They flipped Venom like I don't even remember if they flipped Venom on that second attack, but Venom just completely dominated. They had the ground game, and they just went to work. Blow after all. Oh, here's the second round. They almost flipped Venom, but they didn't. This fight just went entirely in Venom's favor, and when they started using the hammer, things got even more out of hand for Spellbreak, as originally it was just a battle between control bots that was going the wrong way, but with Venom breaking off the wedge, and later the flipper coming off at the very end of the fight, swinging the damage category entirely in Venom's favor, it was hopeless for Spellbreak after that. They tried to do whatever they could. They kept fighting, but they just could not get anything done. Venom just would not let them get around, and Spellbreak could have tried to drive a bit better, honestly, but there was just nothing that Spellbreak was really able to do to stem the tide, and Venom is definitely going to take this win with it. It's an absolutely dominant performance, but let's see what the judges officially have to say. The winner by 13-2 judge decision is Venom. Venom wins, if I recall correctly, the first judge decision of the entire competition and advances to the quarterfinals. Now move on to the number 1 seeded Overlord, taking on the 16 seed Cloud. Overlord and Cloud fought in the same heat. It did not go well for Cloud at all. Overlord completely dominated that fight, and Cloud would go on to only get 4th place in the heat and not do a very great job anyways, but Overlord was able to completely dominate, proving its superiority over cheese slope wedges. So Cloud is going to do the best they can, but I don't think that they're going to be able to take the win over Overlord, but you never know. Let's go down to the arena to see what happens. Let the bot battle begin. Oh, Overlord landing a solid shot in Cloud, and there goes the support for that weapon already. Oh, Overlord landing some nasty shots. It's not needing much distance to flip Cloud over. There's a solid shot to that back wedge, but Cloud's weapon still at least attached to the robot. This is going better than the last fight, and it is not going well for Cloud at all. Cloud back right side up, but Overlord sends them into a backflip as those forks working perfectly again. And they have held up that spinner, and they are continuing to allow Overlord to just throw Cloud around. More solid shots there as Overlord is just sending Cloud flying. Only a matter of time before they get them out of the arena. There it is. What a dominant win for Overlord yet again. The rematch did not go well for Cloud at all. Overlord was just able to use those forks and use that spinner to wreak absolute havoc. Cloud was not as flying as high as they were in their previous fight, but it was still a brutal beatdown, and Overlord obviously advances to the quarterfinals. Pirate's Curse has its work cut out for him as they're now taking on the #1 seed Overlord in the quarterfinals. Next up, the 6th seed Titan takes on the 11 seed Inverse. Two bots that have competed previously before this competition on this channel. Titan has been here since Season 1. It's now 13-8 overall after getting 2nd in Heat, only getting upset by Grilled Cheese. As for Inverse, it went 2-2 in Heat A. Did not do as well as it would have hoped. They lost to Pirate's Curse and Bad Revolution. This is kind of, once again, a pretty one-sided matchup, at least on paper. Titan has more weapon power and a better ground game. Inverse's main weakness is that lacks that ground game. So it's going to be tough for them to overcome that, but you never know. We could see something very interesting happen down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Inverse fails to spin his vertical spin on the first shot. Ooh, devastating shot by Titan. And there goes one of the wheels already. Inverse, known for its versatility and its ability to get around using those legs and wheels, is already down one as Titan continues to go on the attack, ripping off one of the supports now. But at least that weapon is still going to be able to spin correctly. Yep, both of the bottom supports are still attached, at least for now. How long until Titan rips them apart, though I think I see Titan's frame start to crack, and Inverse can just hang on a bit longer, might be able to get this win, but Titan does not seem to be wanting to let that happen. They know that they're always on a timer, that reliability has failed them in the past, but I don't think Inverse is going to last as the second wheel comes off. Yeah, this fight is over. Titan took a dominant early edge and never let up, and that is going to be it for Inverse.
Knockout.
On the first engagement, Titan was able to rip that right side wheel off. Yeah, it was the right wheel. And just went to town from there. It was just completely dominant. I mean, Inverse could not really even move at all. And so Titan was just able to eventually get the second wheel off, and with that win, advanced to the quarterfinals. Titan's win puts it against Bonk in the quarterfinals, and that is certainly going to be a very interesting fight. Now this is an old rematch. Who remembers the original Nemesis versus Standalone fight? That was all the way back in Season 1. Nemesis was the #3 seed and Standalone the 19 seed. Standalone put up a decent fight against Nemesis, but was unable to claim victory. And here they stand against each other yet again. Nemesis got 2nd place in the very confusing Heat D, while Standalone got 3rd in Heat B. With Standalone's record sitting at 10-10 and Nemesis being at 21-6, the records, I mean, they could be more different, but they're pretty dang different. Standalone is the big weakness for Nemesis, those big wedges, but I mean, neither bot has changed since that fight, and Nemesis has beaten Standalone before, so this is a very tough task for Standalone to be called to. But let's see if they can get revenge down in the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Can Standalone get revenge? Oh, there goes one of the treads. well. Standalone already doing a lot worse than they did in their last fight, and Nemesis looking to finish this early, and that is gonna be it.
10, 9,
wow, Nemesis
8, 7,
taking
6,
the dominant
5,
and surprisingly
4,
fast win
3,
over Standalone.
2, 1, knockout.
Slow down the footage. It looks like Standalone might have come in at the wrong angle, which allowed Nemesis to directly impact that track, and then from there is only a matter of time before Nemesis got the second one. Nemesis crushes Standalone's hopes and moves on to the quarterfinals to take on the biggest wedge, well, one of the biggest wedges left in the field, the 4-seed Grilled Cheese. With that win, there's only one spot left in the quarterfinals. The final fight we see in the round of 16 is the 2-seed Bad Revolution taking on the 15-seed Emulsion. Bad Revolution, one of only 2 bots to go undefeated in their heats. The Bad Revolution won it, but it's being a competent, solid, and well-working design. There's a vertical spinner with cheese-like wedges. I mean, not much really to worry about there besides, you know, it can't self-right. That's kind of a problem. But they're taking on Emulsion, who they absolutely crushed the last time they fought. Emulsion got 4th in their heat, barely squeaking into the bracket. And that durability certainly been a problem, but if they can get underneath, which they do have at least decent ground game, they could flip that Revolution over, and that could be a massive upset. But who knows? We're going to see if they can do that down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Bad Revolution already getting underneath Emulsion, flipping them over. Emulsion trying to self-right, but Bad Revolution now has them in the corner. Not a good start for Emulsion here as Bad Revolution is taking complete control. There goes part of Emulsion's frame. That is not good for Emulsion. They are getting beaten up right now. Emulsion has not gotten underneath once as Bad Revolution's onslaught continues, and there's the flipper off of Emulsion, and now Emulsion is on its side, camouflaged against the wall, but
9,
it is on its side.
8,
the countdown
7,
is on, and Bad
6,
Revolution
5,
will take home
4,
another victory
3,
against Emulsion
2,
and move on to the top
1,
8.
knockout.
Well, this was just Bad Revolution being a solid, very capable design, and not too much wrong with the design. It just got underneath Emulsion, and that vertical spinner did the work without doing any real damage to Bad Revolution. It's another solid performance by the number 2 seed, and they advance to the top 8, and Emulsion is, unfortunately for them, eliminated. Bad Revolution, with its victory over Emulsion, takes the last spot in the quarterfinals, and they will take on the 7-seed Venom when we get to their match. Our first match of the quarterfinals sees Grilled Cheese, the number 4 seed, take on the 5 seed and channel mascot Nemesis. Grilled Cheese was able to get a dominant revenge over Wheelie Bro in their last fight, while Nemesis absolutely broke the 12 seed standalone and prevented them from getting revenge. Now this match, it's all gonna be about if Grilled Cheese's wedge can stay on. If that wedge holds, then Nemesis, there's really not much they could do to really stop Grilled Cheese. But if Grilled Cheese's wedge breaks, which Nemesis is definitely gonna be trying to do very aggressively probably, then Grilled Cheese is essentially gonna be helpless. Let's see if the big wedge of Grilled Cheese is able to get them a big upset here, or if Nemesis will march on down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Ooh, solid deflection there from Grilled Cheese, but Nemesis already hitting that side once. Nemesis, very effective driving for a full body spinner. So it's, Grilled Cheese has got to be careful, but there you go, getting Nemesis into the corner, but failing to flip them over. Now getting into the death corner, trying to get them into the screws now. Great control start for Grilled Cheese, but Nemesis somehow gets underneath, and now is trying to get Grilled Cheese in the screws. They almost get to do that, but oh, solid shot by Nemesis as they get to the side again. They don't want to go head on with that wedge, but they are willing to if they need to. But Nemesis is completely out-driving Grilled Cheese right now in the fight, at least. And there's the wedge gone. Grilled Cheese making some fatal errors, and that'll cost them the wedge, and most likely this fight. There goes the other sidearm for the lifter, and things are Grilled Cheese going flying now. completely lightweight. I mean, that wedge was probably about like half its weight at minimum. And Nemesis is just tossing it around. It is a solidly vertically built chassis, but only so much damage that can take before things start to go awry. And Nemesis is not breaking down. He's not going to break down. Grilled Cheese has to open a miracle as a wheel comes off. I don't even know how that happened, but Nemesis is just so powerful that frankly I'm not too surprised. Grilled Cheese now stuck underneath the screw motor, but Nemesis willing to give them another chance. Probably should have just taken the KO there. And I mean, if Grilled Cheese would have stayed under there was a chance it would have escaped. But this is now just a brutal, I mean, what can Grilled Cheese do to try and win this fight as the frame is starting to twist and bend? As Nemesis just continues to land kill shot after kill shot. Grilled Cheese holding up, but for how much longer can it do so? Well, there's not a ton of time left in the fight, but Nemesis is got to be cranking up the pressure right now. But oh, there goes one side of wheels entirely. Grilled Cheese, I don't know if it can move, but Nemesis looking to put this fight to bed anyways. And yeah, that is gonna do it as Grilled Cheese gets flipped over. The countdown will start, and the fight that'll last over 2.5 minutes. Nemesis will take the win.
1, knockout.
See, this is just what Nemesis does. It outlasts bots that it can't kill instantly. And Grilled Cheese held up well at the start, and was able to get some good controlling on Nemesis. You can see here, they got them in the corner, they got them in the death corner. They tried to get them into the screws, but they were never really able to push their advantage. And I think poor driving was really the key to Grilled Cheese's defeat in this fight. Nemesis was always trying to hit the side as best they could, and even when they're hitting the front, they were trying to hit at an angle, try and twist some things off, and that resulted in the wedge coming off. And after that, I mean, it didn't really matter how Grilled Cheese drove. They were going to be taking some brutal shots. And with how lightweight that bot is, they were just going flying on every shot. And they tried to hold up as best they could, but once the wheel came off, it was only a matter of time. And eventually Nemesis just ripped the other two of the other wheels off and flipped Grilled Cheese over. Another win, another bot broken, and Nemesis is the first bot in this competition to advance to the semifinals. Nemesis becomes the first bot to enter the semifinals, and notably, neither of the two bots that it could face have anti-horizontal sprinter configurations. Moving on. Next up, the 2-seed Bad Revolution versus the 7-seed Venom, two of the most normal and just generally competent designs in the field that have done very well for themselves. Bad Revolution easily dispatched Emulsion again in the last round, while Venom completely dominated Spellbreak. It's all going to come down to the ground game in this one, because neither bot has been out-wedged by another cheese slope wedge. I mean, Venom did get out-wedged by Overlord, but Overlord is proving to be a meta-breaking machine, so maybe that's not the best comparison. And it's going to be very interesting to see who gets underneath, and then really whoever gets underneath is going to win the fight. So let's go down to the arena to see what happens. Let the bot battle begin. Who's going to get underneath? And it's Venom gets underneath and slams Bad Revolution into the pit wall, trying to get a grab on it, but Bad Revolution gets away, but Venom just gets underneath again. Those forks easily slipping underneath Bad Revolution as Venom continues to drop that hammer. It's probably not going to be doing much, but you never know. Oh, there's a shot from Bad Revolution's disc. They get underneath once, but Venom slams them into the death corner, and Venom loses some force, though Bad Revolution could be stuck. Though they do escape, they're free, and Venom's forks are damaged. Now it's Bad Revolution's time to get back in this fight, but Venom seems to be ignoring them and puts them back in the death corner. Now it gets them into the screws and flips them over. Now if they would just back off, they could win this fight, but instead they're choosing to go after the wedges of Bad Revolution just to make sure it can't get underneath. Or you could just back off and take the win. Yeah, there you go, Venom. The countdown is on, and the 7 seed will take down the 2 as the first undefeated bot falls.
3, 2, 1, knockout.
Venom just outwedged Bad Revolution in this one. Those forks were just better. I mean, just like Bad Revolution did to Emulsion and Venom did to Spellbreak just in their last fight. This was complete domination from Venom. And though Bad Revolution is a good bot, their run will end here, and Venom, a Hammer bot, will advance to the semifinals. Have we seen a Hammer bot advance to the top 4? I don't think we ever have, unless you count Zobblies. Venom, with another clean performance, marches its way to the semifinals. The number 1 seed, Overlord, gets another test, another chance to prove the viability of those brick separator forks against the 8 seed Pirate's Curse. Overlord dominated Cloud again as expected in round 16, while Pirate's Curse took care of business against Omni. And now they're taking each other on for a chance to fight Nemesis, which I don't know if either of those bots are looking very forward to, but getting into the top 4 would certainly be better than getting out in the top 8. Let's see if Overlord's brick separator forks are truly all they're cracked up to be against the cheese slope wedges, or cheese slope wedge forks of Pirate's Curse down the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Oh, Overlord's forks definitely get underneath the forks of Pirate's Curse. Yeah, these forks are definitely meta breaking. Oh, there go the 2 main forks, and Pirate's Curse is not having a great time here, but Overlord quick to finish it.
Knockout.
Now those forks, those brick separator forks on Overlord are definitely meta breaking. We just shattered Pirate's Curse here, just tossed him out of the arena like it was nothing. Overlord's dominant victory puts it in the semifinals against Nemesis, and that is gonna be an epic fight. Our final quarterfinal match sees the 14 seed Bonk, after upsetting the 3 seed bot of Italy, take on the 6 seed Titan, who demolished the 11 seed Inverse. This is gonna be interesting, again, all coming down to ground game, as a lot of fights tend to do, but if Titan gets underneath, then Bonk is not durable enough to take a ton of shots from that spinner, but if Bonk gets underneath, then it could cause some serious havoc. This is going to be a very interesting fight, and let's see who takes on Venom in the semifinals down the arena. Battle begin. Who's gonna get underneath? And it's Bonk who gets underneath, putting Titan against the pit and trying to get them in there, but the hammers usually don't work incredibly well as frontage flippers, as you see there again. But Bonk is still getting underneath, though Titan does land a quick jab there. Titan does enough damage to that wedge. That could be problematic for Bonk, but Bonk looking to prevent that from happening and not showing any fear of that weapon. And Titan now getting underneath against pushing Bonk back now and landing another solid shot, but Bonk getting underneath again, putting them in the death corner now and trying to get them onto the screws, and Titan is on its face now. I don't think they can get up from there. Bonk backing away, and the countdown is on. Titan most certainly can't get up from there, and Bonk is going to pull off another massive upset.
2, 1, knockout.
Bonk won the ground game more often than Titan and also made better work of the times where it was underneath, controlling Titan around the arena, slamming them into the pit, trying to get them in there, and when that didn't work, they pushed them into the screws and flipped them onto their face. Bonk has now taken down the 3 seed and the 6 seed, and it marches to the semifinals. Bonk is on a revenge tour here. With Bonk taking another upset victory, it now faces the 7 seed Venom in the semifinals. This is gonna be a great fight. The 2 strongest pure Lego spinners in the field, Nemesis and Overlord, colliding with each other. This is gonna be explosive one way or another. And Overlord does not have an anti-horizontal configuration, unfortunately for it, but brick separators aren't exactly going to break off easily, and that is a pretty solid chassis. So if Overlord can get underneath, then that could seriously spell the end of Nemesis early. But Nemesis is not going to let that happen without a fight. So let's go down to the arena to see the end result of these 2 mighty spinners clashing. Let the bot battle begin. Oh, what a shot! Overlord already on its side. It doesn't have a self-rider, and Nemesis already looking to clean up the trash. They want more destruction, and Overlord's weapon is out of the arena. This fight ended with one shot, and Nemesis is just looking to make things more inconvenient for me because Overlord's gonna have to play in the third place playoff because they're not making it to the finals. One shot and the fight ends. A victory for Nemesis.
Knockout.
That one shot was all it took. Overlord's weapon didn't even touch Nemesis. Let's see that slow down. As you can see, Nemesis hits the fork and then Overlord just topples. You can see Overlord's weapon still spinning at maximum speed. And that was the fight. Nemesis just shut Overlord down in a single blow. Nemesis just knocks Overlord out of the way and advances to the finals. Somehow, someway, we have two hammers battling out for a place in the finals. Venom and Bonk. Venom taking the win over Bad Revolution in a dominant performance in its last fight, while Bonk was able to upend the 6-seeded Titan. Ground game is going to be crucial for both these bots, as Venom hasn't been gotten underneath by any cheese slope wedges, but Bonk at least has in the past. So you'd think Venom has the ground game advantage here, but you never know. I mean, Bonk has had inconsistent ground game, so maybe Venom could have some inconsistent ground game. So let's find out which hammer will face Nemesis in the finals down the arena. Let the bot battle begin, and it's Bonk getting underneath Venom, getting Venom into the screws and flipping them over. A great start to this fight by Bonk, who just slams Venom into the wall and into the death corner now. Bonk taking complete control early in this fight. Can Venom get out there? Well, Bonk is not willing to let them out there, but there they go. Now Venom gets to the side and flips Bonk over, and now gets them into the death corner. Bonk able to escape now as they get underneath, and great slam, and there goes the tip of Venom's hammer, I believe. But now Venom gets to the side of Bonk again, flips them over, but Bonk is winning these head-to-head collisions, and Venom has lost a ton of two of its forks already. That's not a ton quite yet, at least. Venom is losing control of this fight. They've won their past two fights by dominating the ground game, but they do not have an answer for when Bonk is dominating them like this. Bonk trying to flip them over again, and they do so. Another great ram. I think another fork came off of Venom there, and this is just getting out of hand for Venom. The 7-seed is getting walloped here. Or can Venom find a way to turn this fight around? No! Bonk gets them in the pits!
Knockout!
Unbelievable. The revenge tour of Bonk continues. I mean, this was just one-sided. This was an absolutely dominant performance by Bonk. Venom got around to the side twice and got them in the screws twice, but every time they went head-to-head, Bonk would get underneath, which was only exacerbated by the loss of Venom's forks throughout the fight. Bonk was ramming Venom a ton into the walls and causing some serious damage to those forks and the weapon as well, though that wasn't really as much a factor. And Bonk was just able to use their hammer as well as a front hinge flipper to get Venom over. This was just a dominant performance, and it caps off with Bonk putting Venom into the pit. Venom will have a rematch with Overlord for third place, and Bonk will go to the finals for a rematch against Nemesis. The final is set. It's a rematch from Heat D between the 5-seed Nemesis and the 14-seed Bonk. But before that, we have to go to our third place playoff. The last time the 1-seed Overlord fought the 7-seed Venom all the way back in Heat B, it didn't go well for Venom. Overlord completely demolished them, and that ground game disparity has only really been emphasized. I mean, Overlord beat Pirate's Curse, another cheese slope wedge machine, while Venom just got out-wedged by another cheese slope machine in Bonk. So it looks pretty clear that Overlord is going to do the exact same thing again to Venom, but maybe Venom's learned from their last couple of fights. Maybe they could get around to the sides, and if they do, we've seen that Overlord cannot self-right. So let's go down to the arena to see who claims third place. Let the third place playoff begin. Venom does not try to get around to the sides of Overlord, and is already paying the price for it, losing that main middle fork, as Overlord is just slipping underneath and landing the nasty shots we saw them land back in Heat B onto Venom. They went into the screws there for a little bit, and now they are losing even more of their defenses as Overlord continues to rip through the 7 seed. Venom is tough. Their frame itself will be able to take the shots, but how long can they stay in the arena? It's nearly out there, but somehow they managed to slip back in. But Overlord immediately throws it out. Overlord just completely dominant in this one. I mean, those cheese loaf wedges did not stand a chance, just like they did last time. And Overlord just ripped Venom apart again. Overlord's brick separator forks have certainly proved that they are going to shake up the meta once Overlord gets to Season 4. And who knows? Maybe a certain Finnish flipper will be on Overlord's schedule. Who knows? It's time for the final. Nemesis and Bonk. I mean, a lot of people, I would imagine, would have expected Nemesis to get here, but Bonk? I don't think too many people expected this. They tore through the right side of the bracket, dominating Venom in their semifinal match, while Nemesis only needed one shot to kill Overlord. And this is gonna be a good one. Bonk is out for revenge after Nemesis knocked it out back in Heat D. And you can be sure, Nemesis showed them respect in that last matchup, so they're definitely going to be showing them some respect here. And this is going to be an intense one, as Bonk will try to corral Nemesis and prevent them from getting to that side, while Nemesis will obviously be trying to do what it did last time and rip Bonk in half by attacking the back corners of that wedge. Will they be able to do so and win their first ever event, or will Bonk complete the miracle run of a lifetime? Let's find out down in the arena. Let the final begin. Nemesis spins back, Bonk charging in, already trying to get Nemesis in the pit, and what a deflection there. Both bots go flying. Bonk going right for the throat here as Nemesis starts to charge into that wedge of Bonk. And this is already an intense fight, and there's Nemesis getting around to the sides, getting those second shots, and now it's got Bonk in the corner, and that's gonna be it. That's the fight. That is the fight. Bonk has been split in half again, and Bonk's revenge tour is gonna be cut violently short by the now champion of Battle of the Builders, the channel mascot, Nemesis. I am never going to hear the end of the bias claim for this. I am never going to be able to hear the end of those allegations, but Bonk put up a hell of a fight yet again. They were throwing Nemesis all around the arena, but Nemesis, with the drive, was able to pin Bonk in the corner and rip them in half. That marks Nemesis' 25th win as they claim victory and end Bonk's run.